Mike, PTM, coming to you today with the full crew. The full crew will be here momentarily. We got Dave. We're just waiting for Tim to sign on for our first podcast of the 24-25 NBA season. This is Dave and mine's third NBA season doing the podcast. Dave's got the Knicks hat on. Not a great start for us Knicks fans last night, but as bettors, we did all right, especially in that Lakers-Wolves game. We got a lot to cover for this 10-game slate tonight, but before we jump in, there's Timmy. Before we jump in, you all know Props.cash has been the longtime sponsor of Prop the Mic, and we 100% could not do what we do without the tools they provide, but we want all of our viewers to see for themselves the power of Props.cash when it comes to researching their bets. So for a limited time only, we've teamed up with Props.cash to offer PTM listeners an exclusive 50% off discount on their first month of Props.cash. This is a great opportunity to check out the tools and see just how much Props.cash can help you elevate your prop betting game. So get in while you can. Use code PTM50 to get 50% off your first month. That promo is usually 25% off. We're getting half off your first month. Again, that's code PTM50, the number 50 for 50% off your first month. I'm going to throw it up on the screen there.
And you getting all fancy.
Look
at
that,
graphics.
Right?
I like that.
Look at that.
Hey, look at us.
And just one more thing before we get started. A quick shout out to the PTM Discord, where we have cappers covering every sport going on right now. This is peak sports season, and we're just hitting our stride. So hit that link in our bio to join the PTM VIP Discord and start cashing with us tonight. What's going on, boys? Tim, it's been a minute. Welcome back to the pod. Good to see you.
It's good to be home, man.
Welcome back to the Midwest. You were trapped in Florida, I heard.
I was, yeah. We went down for a trade show and got in, and instantly a hurricane was coming through, so we had to run away from it. And do I need to turn my little thing on here?
No, you're good. You're good.
Cool. Yeah. So we made it out alive. I only had one app I could use while I was there, so I missed out on a lot of the fun. But hockey season is in full swing. We had the Frozen Frenzy last night. I know everybody's paying attention to basketball, but it's a wonderful event. And we're figuring out hockey right now. We're like 6-7 games into the season, just seeing what teams are doing and who to count on.
That's good stuff. Love it.
I do have a bit of a grievance with NBA already. Probably the biggest injustice I've ever seen. There is a Phoenix Suns Clippers game tonight, a Mason Plumlee revenge game, and his lines are not out on any single book right now. So. I'm a little angry. I'm coming a little hot. I was excited to bring in some Mason Plumlee stuff, but they're not allowing that at the moment.
It's just a matter of time. The lines that they were offering last night were like really flexible. I was telling Tom before the game, like you can get like Al Horford, I think, for 3.5 points. I think Ryan had put something up around that. So I'm thinking as we get closer to the game, these alt lines will come out. And you'll get more flexibility, but you take our base plays here, and then you can alt them down as you get closer to the game. All right, so let's get to work. Yes, the Knicks got shellacked last night, but they did prevent the Celtics from beating the 3-point record. In what I would describe,
did they prevent it, or they just get lucky?
The worst 8 minutes of basketball I think I've ever seen in my life. The end of that game.
That's pretty tough.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to move kind of quickly today. What I would say is our whole analysis, our whole work is usually based off of historical performances, highly focused on defensive rankings and such, right? We don't have any of that really at this point in the season. So I would definitely tread lightly in the first couple weeks. As we get better data, we'll be able to like kind of up the units, but here we go. Let's dive in. Let's start with the Pacers, Pistons. Pistons are getting 4.5 at home. Totals 235.5 in this game. Tom, you had something in this one, I think.
Yeah, I got a couple. I like first I just want to give a quick shout out Black Bleach on the X feed there. Well, good to see you, brother. Welcome back. We got our NBA boys and Cliff from Bets from the Boot following on YouTube. So good to see you guys. Excited for NBA to be back. Let's get into this game. I like Jalen Duren over 11.5 rebounds. It was plus money. The dude's just like an insane rebounder. He's like 98th percentile rebounder. Cleared in all 3 games against the Pacers last season. He'll get to see Miles Turner again down low over there. So I think Duren is a nice look here. Also like him for a double-double, but that was a little pricey at like I don't know, minus 150 or something like that. So if you do. So I did like the double-double for him, 10 points, 10 rebounds. I also put that with Cade Cunningham, 6 assists to get plus 108. So it was a little mini builder I put together from this game. Cade, 6 assists, Duren, 10 points, Duren, 10 rebounds, plus 108 on FanDuel.
I like that. I like that a lot. I think I included Jalen Duren in some capacity in probably 80% of my builders last year. I think it was either 10 points or 8 rebounds, like almost every game. So yeah, he's awesome, man. He's so much fun to watch. He's like the new coming of Clint Capella. So I love, you know how much I love Clint. All right. Anything else in this one, guys?
I looked at his rebounds as well, and his to lead the game or leading rebounder is like minus 130. So I thought that might be another approach because the closest line to him is like 4 rebounds off or something like that. So if we expect him to perform as he does and to things to go pretty normal, I feel like his that might be a different way you could take it because he's 11.5. I think the next closest is like 7.5.
Yeah, you got Siakam at 7.5, and you got Miles Turner at 7.5. Neither of those are like 10 plus rebound guys. So I think that's a great value.
So if he gets 11 and he beats everybody else and doesn't cover his 11.5, that was an approach. I was looking at. So yeah, that was my look in there. Was also Jalen Duren. His double-double was a wagon last year. I remember that. So putting him in there was also another thing that I think is if you combine it with some other stuff like the soccer game tonight between the Whitecaps and the Timbers, if you go 1.5 in that and take his double-double, I think you get a plus money 2-legger, which big fan.
You had to sneak that soccer in there. I saw what you did there. I really want to play Tobias Harris today. Tom advised me not to.
The homecoming back to Detroit.
Back to his roots, man.
Yeah, okay.
Mr.
Betts from the Boot says hell with taking it slow the first 2 weeks. He says all gas, no brakes. So you rock and roll with your Tobias Harris play, all right?
Okay, maybe I'll put a collab out with Cliff on Tobias Harris for 40 points or something. Just try to win 100 units night one. All right, so yeah, it certainly makes the rest of the season easier. Slow and steady stuff is nonsense. All right, let's move on. Let's go to a this is a pretty terrible game. We got the Nets at the Hawks. Hawks are minus 6.5 at home. Totals 222.5 in this one. Just a quick reminder, DeJounte Murray, who thankfully is no longer on the Hawks, so we can't bet on him in this game.
And lose.
That's a good question. He was on our ban list. So when a player gets traded, does that immediately take him off the ban list, or does the ban doesn't go with him? Okay.
No.
All right. So probation,
right?
Okay.
Like one game.
You got to earn. Yeah, one game's not enough.
One game's not enough. But yeah, I think they got Dyson Daniels now. DeAndre Hunter, I think, is going to be starting. I don't know about that team. This could be an ugly game, but Tom, you got anything in this one?
Yeah, I think Brooklyn is super thin. They're going to not be a good team this season. I think their scoring is going to come from 2 places. Cam Thomas, going to be super high usage guy this season, and the other Cam Johnson. I think people are going to be on Cam Thomas in this game. His line's a little high at 24.5, so I went with the other Cam Johnson, 14.5 points. He's actually cleared this in 6 straight games against Atlanta, and that was even in games when you had Mikal Bridges scoring 38, 32 and 45 points
Wow.
against Atlanta last season. So even with big scoring output from Bridges, Cam Johnson still got there. So this is a nice matchup. Team is pretty similar, like we said. The backcourt's a little bit different, but that doesn't really affect Johnson as much because he's a power forward. So I like this spot for Cam.
Awesome. Tim, you got anything in this one?
I don't.
Good move. Good
I got
move.
one more. Do you have one?
I'm just waiting for Tom to drop something on Ben Simmons.
Well, I don't, because his lines weren't out yesterday when I researched this game. So if you have something, let's bring it. I mean, the guy's like if you look at point guards, like I love looking at cleaning the glass. If you look at percentile ranks for point guards, he just dominates in he's like 100th percentile rebounder. Up there, very high on the assists as well. So hit me with your Ben Simmons play.
No, I don't have anything.
Let's give Ben Simmons a day to a game to see what he does.
I was impressed by his the videos he released in the preseason, though, which he always does, and that gets everybody hyped up on Ben Simmons. But looks like right now it's just 7.5 points, which for a guy like this, he should get that in like the first quarter on this team. But he's Ben Simmons, so let's pass. But what's your other play in this one?
Yeah, Black Bleach says no Benny Simmons redemption this season.
No, we'll get to him. We will not get through this season unless he gets like injured today. We will not get through this season without getting burned by Ben Simmons. That's like a rite of passage.
He's not getting any of my money ever.
He's not getting. All right, what'd you have, Tom?
Real quick, I think 25 points for Trae Young is he's got no DeJounte to share the backcourt with this season. He's had great success against Brooklyn, I believe, right? Yeah, he had a 43-point game, 30-point game last season, the last two times that they met up. That lines up to 26.5 now. Yeah.
26.5 on FanDuel, but at Caesars you can still get it for 24.5. Fanatics 24.5. So it is kind of all over the place. Definitely.
That'll show you. Yesterday I got this 24.5 at -106 on FanDuel. Now it's 26.5 -110.
Yeah.
Definitely some action on Trae Young.
Yeah, I mean Trae Young is going to be that offense. So I think that's probably a good look for this one. Yeah. I just had one fun, like I really don't want to watch this game. I don't want to really invest too much of my time here. I just came up with a 1-1-1 builder. So which this is like piquing Tim's interest. So one 3-pointer for Jalen Johnson. Okay. You don't think of him as a 3-point shooter, but he did hit in 79% of games last season, and that rate goes even goes up higher when you filter the minutes up. Then we got Dennis Schroeder. He's definitely getting one. 85% hit rate last season, right? He's also the other offense on this team.
Can I guess the third one?
You know the third one because I told you yesterday. Go ahead. Who is it?
DFS himself.
DFS
Finney-Smith. All right.
I gotta pull up DFS. Yesterday was just me throwing out like players to Tom and saying, "Is this okay? Is this okay to bring up on the pod?" Look at DFS versus Atlanta, right?
There you go.
And then if you look at him across all of last season, he had a 79% hit rate, but he really wasn't getting minutes in a lot of these games. So if we bring him up to, he should get 25 plus on this team. Probably closer to 30 is my guess, but even at 25, 87% hit rate last season. So DFS 1-3, Dennis Schroeder 1-3, Jalen Johnson 1-3, plus 108 on FanDuel. Go lock it in.
All right.
All right.
That.
Those are always fun.
Yeah.
This can cash in the first quarter. All right. Magic Heat. Heat are -2.5 at home. Total, because it's a Heat game, is always pathetic. 208.5 points. Tim, you got anything in this one?
I don't.
Okay, Tim. Tom.
Yeah, I wanted to just get something from this game. It's no straight lines, but I like this little builder. So we put Jimmy Butler 15 points and Franz Wagner 15 points. Get you -130. Some people might be okay with that. Some people might not. They might want it a little closer to even money. If you want that, you can see Jimmy's hit rates, 15 points, pretty good. I didn't write it down what it is, but you can tell there by the chart. That's 15 points is pretty money for him, as well as Franz. You could tack on FanDuel 2 assists, 2 Butler assists, 2 Franz assists. Almost, they're like 95% hit rates on both of those over the course of the entire season, and you get plus 102. So it's Butler 15 and 2, Franz 15 and 2, plus 102 on FanDuel.
That seems pretty obvious. I like that at this point.
There's a 50% profit boost. So if you do your 1-1-1, you end up at plus 170 on FanDuel. Just so heads up, if you wanted to spend that in that direction.
Even better. All right, so that was your play in this one, Tom. I kind of like Jaime Jaquez here. I'm surprised you weren't too intrigued. I know he's a family favorite for you. UCLA product, right?
Yes, yeah.
So Jaquez had a great rookie season. It's hard to look at the Heat though because they have so many people, especially with Butler coming in and out of the lineup. Like it's really hard to understand. So he's going to be coming off the bench, but we do have him projected for 25 plus minutes. So he's actually going to play. They're projecting that he's going to play more minutes than Nikola Jovic, right? So even though Jaquez is coming off the bench, he should get bulk of the minutes. He's going to be playing against the second unit. So 8.5 points seems too low. This was 7.5, so it's moving up. The other way you could approach this was his PRA. At 13.5. I think that's also a good look because he does get rebounds. He does dish the ball. So I like either of those. This is on the rise, though. I think this was 12.5 earlier. So you can see it's plus money on DraftKings at 13.5 or minus 125 on Fanatics. You like either of those?
Yeah, I like the P. I was looking at his PR and nice hit rates against Orlando. He cleared in all 3 games against Orlando last season. 13, 26, and 18. If you're looking at the PR, his line's 11.5 at even money on DraftKings.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good look. One other way you could play Jaquez, you could play him for just 6 points. They're offering that on DraftKings, and then you need to pair it with something. So you could pair it with one of the other things that we talked about earlier, or you can pair it with the new addition to the Orlando Magic, KCP. I didn't realize KCP went to Orlando.
Yeah.
KCP for 2+ assists is an option in this one. He's starting for Orlando. Should get 30+ minutes is my guess. Really good hit rate. I don't have it written down, but really good hit rate against when he gets 30+ minutes. So that's another option. Jaquez 6 points plus KCP 2 assists. That's plus 112 on DraftKings. Okay.
Interesting. All right.
Interesting. All right. Let's go quickly. Bucks and Sixers. Obviously Embiid's out. That's the big news. Paul George, big addition to the Sixers. He's out. So this one could be an ugly game. But what do you like here, Tom?
I just kept it simple on this one. Giannis over 28.5 points, minus 110 on DK. He's gone over this. He played 3 times. I'm not sure. I don't think it was all last season, but the last 3 times he's played the Sixers without Embiid, he's cleared this line. He's had 31, 30, and 32 points the last 3 times he played the Sixers without Embiid.
Yeah. There you go.
What's interesting is if you click over to his assists now, leave Embiid out, click on his assists, 9 and 7. So I don't know. It could be maybe a sneaky spot for a Giannis triple double. It was like plus 480 on FanDuel. He doesn't get there too much, but I like that. It's crazy that his straight line is 6.5 though. So even 7 is not. 7 seems high, but I guess it's not that high.
Well, when you got Gary Trent Jr. on your team now, those assists are going to go up.
There you go. Good point.
Yeah, I like Giannis in this game. I mean, he's going up against Andre Drummond today, who is my play. I don't know if I'm gonna. I haven't actually locked this one in yet. We were chatting about this in the Discord yesterday. Drummond rebounds is opened up at like 12.5. It's already up to 14.5. I'm looking to play this at like 20. Seriously, 20,
Yeah.
20 if I'm going to play it at all. I don't really like the value at 14.5, but this guy averages 1 rebound every 1.9 minutes each of the last 2 seasons. He's just out there grabbing boards. I think I saw an article where he admitted to even padding his stats to just get more rebounds. That's kind of like this is like his path to the Hall of Fame. I think he's just like this is the only way I'm getting in is if I like have some crazy historical numbers. Pretty good history against Milwaukee. Should play close to 30 minutes tonight. And if you look last season, this is what he did when he played 28 plus minutes, right?
Wow.
Again, 3 out of the 8 games that he played, he had 23 plus rebounds. That's why I'm saying if you're gonna put some money on Drummond tonight, try to get it for like plus 500 at 20 plus rebounds if you can find that somewhere. All right.
16 plus is only plus 130.
I know. So this one's on the rise. Like I said, this opened at I think 12.5. It's already up to 14.5. Again, I don't see a lot of value at 14.5, but I would sprinkle a little on plus 20 rebounds.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
We're good to move on. Tim, you got anything here?
No, I have a question. I'll wait till we get to one of the games though.
Okay. Cavs Raptors. Tom, you have anything on that one?
Yeah, let me get my notes here. Yeah, I think RJ Barrett is out of the lineup. I just think Emmanuel Quickly is going to take like 20 shots in this game. So let's play Quickly over 20 and a half points, minus 125 on FanDuel. When he's played 32 plus minutes, he's averaging 16 field goal attempts, many times getting to 20 in 3 games without RJ, but with Scotty Barnes last season at 25, 24. One game he only had 8 points, but I like the 25 and the 24 in those 2 games, 16 and 20 field goal attempts. I just think you're going to see a ton of attempts from Quickly. And if his shot's falling, I think he easily clears the 20 and a half point line.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Those are the games, 25, 8, and 24.
Yeah,
man. Quickly, as a former Knick, I know he's certainly
why does
not
it say 14 and a half there?
14.5 points. What did you have?
20 and a half. Yeah. Oh, over there it says 20. I don't know
Oh,
why
20.
up top it says 14 and a half.
Oh yeah, there we go. I think
it
it was still on Drummond or something like that.
Okay.
But regardless, he hit it in 2 out of the 3 games that you're talking about. He's not afraid to shoot, this guy.
No.
So, and there's really not a lot of options in Toronto. No. So I like that look. All right, let's go to. I actually think this could be one of the more fun games of the night. I like the Hornets and the Rockets. Rockets are minus 6.5. Totals 229.5 in this one. I actually forgot. I was like researching Terry Rozier, thinking he was still on the Hornets, even though we all know he was traded to Miami. The Hornets are interesting, right? They got a team going out there tonight that you haven't really seen play together very much, right? With Brandon Miller, LaMelo, Bridges, and who's the fourth guy I'm thinking of? I mean, Nick Richards and
Miles Bridges. Talking about?
Yeah, Bridges and let me see who else they got on. I guess that's it. Yeah, I guess that's it. Oh no, Josh Green. That's who I was thinking of. Yeah, from Dallas. So he was the recent addition. So they could be respectable this year, I think, right?
Yeah.
So
maybe.
All right. So what do you like in this one?
Did you have something? I didn't have. I had one builder that I like, but
yeah, go ahead with the builder. That's fine.
All right. I liked. I love Şengün, so I had to find something on him in this game. I like him. Get him at 15 points. I'm actually I'm modifying this on the fly right here. So 15 points is minus 450. I like putting him with 8 rebounds, which is minus 250. And then I was deciding whether to play it with 4 assists for Şengün, which I don't love, but I think what I do love is 6 assists for Fred VanVleet. So I put those 3 together, plus 101. That's Şengün 15 points and 8 rebounds, and Fred VanVleet 6 assists. Similar build to the Cade Cunningham, Jalen Duren kind of, you get the point guard with the assists and then the points and rebounds from the big. So yeah, I like that. What do you think?
Yeah, it seems I like those correlated plays. I
Yeah.
think that's nice. The only thing I would look at, I don't know if Şengün's on any sort of minutes restriction coming off of that
Oh, that's right.
whatever it was, knee or leg injury last year. So
Yeah.
I would just look that up. But my assumption is he's ready to go. So yeah, that seems good. The one play I had on this one was actually Nick Richards. We put this out in the Props Like Cash article that came out this morning, but we'll cover it here as well. So Nick Richards, I like his points. I like his rebounds. So I said, let's just play both of them. I think we put this out at 16 and a half. It looks like it's up to 17 and a half. Nick Richards is really about minutes, and you got Mark Williams is still out for Charlotte. That's the other piece of the Charlotte offense that's out. But what I thought was interesting was Nick Richards' stats when he plays with LaMelo Ball, right? So if you look, that's Nick Richards with LaMelo Ball over the last 2 seasons. He's got a 63% hit rate, and then if we just kind of get rid of some of these games where he barely played, he is the starting center tonight. You just look at 22 minutes over the last season. That's a 86% hit rate. If you go even further and look at the last 20 games, right? And we got it for 16 and a half. That's basically every game but one. So I think Nick Richards has enough offensive weapons now on Charlotte that I think there's going to be a lot of attention on LaMelo. There's going to be a lot of attention on Brandon Miller, a lot of attention on Bridges. I think Nick Richards is going to scoop up some rebounds and get some easy putbacks. Probably get some lobs as well from LaMelo. So I think he's good for 17 PR tonight. What do you think?
Yeah, love it. It's good luck. It's good value when you're getting somebody, with Williams out. So
yeah, and just a reminder, especially when the alts start coming out, another way you can play these PRs if you don't have a PR available to you, or if you don't like playing like up to 17, you can also just put a builder together, like do Nick Richards for 8 points and like 6 rebounds, and that'll probably get you there as well. So
yeah,
always consider that as an option too when you're putting these multi-prop plays together.
sir.
All right, let's go Bulls, Pelicans. Pels are -6.5. Total is 226.5. You got anything on this one, Tom?
Yeah, a little mini alt builder here. One from each team. So our man Josh Giddey over from the Thunder to the Bulls. His first game with the Bulls. The dude's an awesome rebounder, 97th percentile rebounder at the forward position for the Thunder. That was year over year consistently. High 90s percentile. He's cleared this. He should play big minutes. I think he'll see 30 plus minutes in this game. 6 rebounds for him. He cleared in 21 of 24 games last season when he played 28 plus minutes. I think he's definitely good for 28 minutes in this game. So that's leg 1. Josh Giddey, 6 rebounds. I wouldn't look at that. You're looking at that's with playoffs in there. He was a non-factor in the playoffs. His minutes were way down, so those hit rates are not. Yeah, look at those minutes.
Yeah, just take him up to like 30 minutes. I think he's a whole different player. Yeah, when he gets the minutes.
Yeah, and then on the New Orleans side, I like Ingram, 4 assists. He's also among wings, 96th percentile assist guy among wings. He played only 1 preseason game. He played 21 minutes, but had 3 assists in that game. Both games against Chicago last season, he had 6 assists in both games against Chicago. And on the season as a whole, 81% hit rate. And when we look at games when he played 30 plus minutes, that goes up to 88% hit rate last season. So Giddey 6 rebounds, Ingram 4 assists, plus 116.
Yeah, it seems pretty good. I just want to clarify. You said Josh Giddey's our man. He could be your man. I'm still distancing myself from Josh Giddey after last season. All right. So, but God bless him for getting a new start in Chicago.
Yes, God bless him. God bless him. But he also we talked about this because they played in the playoffs. Just look at Giddey's points in New Orleans. He's for some reason he's just like is awesome in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's another way if you want to play giddy points. For some reason, he likes New Orleans. Like, what's not to like about New Orleans, right?
Yeah. Hurricanes.
I guess so.
Have
Yeah.
some nice drinks there. Yeah, we had him for 11.5 points in the props cash article. He had a minimum of 9 field goal attempts in the preseason. We have him projected for 12 plus field goal attempts. Think about that. His line was 11.5 or 12.5, and he's probably going to shoot the ball 12 times. He doesn't have to be very efficient to get here. So, but even if you're afraid of that, I think for minus 300, you can get him at 10 points in the builder as well. So you can throw that into a builder as well. So he's always a good guy to kind of cut up into a multi prop builder. So,
but not our guy.
Not our guy. Your guy. No,
Okay.
maybe Tim's guy, but not my guy.
No,
The
no,
Giddler.
no,
The Giddler, as
The
Black
Giddler.
Coach says.
All
We
right.
do have a guy in this game though.
Let's hear
Oh.
it. What do you got, Tim?
All right, let's switch over a little bit to it'd be like a ride in the dark side of craps right now. Look at turnovers. This is where I don't feel like you guys did much turnovers before we worked together, but they're very limited in where they offer them. But in
Yeah.
this game, this is what I was checking on when I got quiet. Herbert Jones has had 1 or greater turnovers in 13 straight games, and his line was half a turnover, but it seems as if it's jumped to 1.5. So I was really excited about Herbert Jones. But if you look at this group, Herbert Jones, 13 straight. Brandon Ingram has had 2 or more, 9 straight. McCollum, 8 straight. There's a bunch of turnovers in this one. If you could find Herbert Jones at 1, I would smack that with Bradley Beal over 1.5, who's 100%. He's obviously playing for Phoenix, who's not giving us lines on our guy. But there's a lot of these single turnover guys, as long as they're getting the minutes, that you can kind of combine. And I was testing it a lot last year. And so, for example, Herbert, Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum, all 100% hit rate in the last 10. And the head-to-head looks pretty good for that one. So I think I'm going to be putting out a couple testers today of, for example, if you take Bradley Beal 1.5 and Jaime from the Miami Heat, he's on a nice streak of 1+ turnover. You get like plus 130. So I have a bonus bet on Caesars where you have to take that. I believe MGM and Caesars might be the only, unless you have sleeper in your state. But keep an eye on the turnovers, especially early on when new players, new teams, kind of like figuring out where they're supposed to be. There's a lot of these guys who tend to perform similar against each other. So I mean, like look at CJ McCollum in his recent with a minutes increase. So his over 1.5 is nice, as well as Herbert Jones. Herbert Jones is over 1.5, which he's hit. Where'd it go? In the last 5, he's covered 100%. In the last 10, he's got greater than 1, but the last 5, he's had 3-4 times and 2 once, which is just a indication of his minutes increasing. So I may put him at 1.5 with the plus money, but if you can get him at 1 turnover and max it with anything else, you're going to get a plus money builder that could cash very, very quickly. So
nice.
Join the Discord. I'll throw a couple of those out there after I get a little more time into it. I was really excited to give out the Herbert Jones Bradley Beal combo, but it seems as if they caught on before the show. So
I like
how that one. But yeah, look at the turnover side of things. There's a lot of that kind of hidden, and it's not a fun bet. You know, you're not like hitting threes and stuff, but they seem to be kind of sneaky.
Yeah, I like those turnover plays. I'm definitely going to check the books this year and see if they become more available across some of the books. But yeah, those are good. I know our guy Proptology was big into those as well. And I do like how you call him Herbert Jones. It's very official of you. Very motherly.
Give him his
Herbert.
Herbert. Don't turn over the ball, Herbert.
Herbert. Yeah, when he's doing negative things, he gets the full name. Again, Trace Jackson Davis, for example, for Golden State, 20 straight that he's had a turnover. Brandon Ingram, 20 straight, 2 turnovers. So you're looking at there's a lot of this just consistency, and they're not that juicy at minus 150, minus 170. 2 of them together, you're plus money.
Yeah, I don't think they're that bet, right? So there's probably a lot of inefficiencies in the turnover market where you can take advantage of, as opposed to rebounds, points, assists that tons of people are betting on. So that's a good look.
I like money more than basketball.
Yeah, who cares, right? So all All right, let's keep rolling. What else do we got? We got Grizzlies at the Jazz. Jazz are plus 3.5 at home. Totals 229. We're getting to the West Coast, so getting some higher scores. Love this because we got Ja Morant back in action. What do you like here, Tom?
All right. I saw Black Bleach asked in the chat about Triple J over 8.5 points. Triple J is out tonight. So that led me to one of these two plays. So with Jaren Jackson out, I think Santi Aldama or Brandon Clark are both in spots to have a nice scoring game. Their lines are both 9.5 points. Also like Aldama, 5.5 rebounds. But I just think I think if you had to pick Brandon Clark's been out a lot long. He missed most of last season too, right? So I'd probably lean Aldama here if I had to pick one. What do you think, Dave?
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting debate because it's like, all right, Aldama's starting, so he's probably going to get more minutes, but he's also like the fourth, probably third or fourth option scoring wise when he's out there with Ja Morant and Desmond Bain, right?
Mm-hmm.
So are you better to play less minutes but in the second unit where you're more of a primary option, or are you better to be just getting more minutes? I always get hooked on Aldama, so I personally like he's definitely going to score 9 points tonight, especially with that plus 100 odds that's staring me right in the face. So if I was going to play
Clark,
if I was going to play Aldama, I'd probably take him down to 8. This guy just has a history of of really just messing with me. So, but yeah, I like that. With the absence of Triple J, that's a lot of shots to go around. So, okay. Let's take a look at Brandon Clark. So you like Clark for 9.5 points?
I think that's a good luck. Yeah, I mean he. What are those? Those are his games from. He didn't play much last year, right?
No, that was all of last year. He came back kind of right at the end. Didn't play huge minutes either, right? So yeah, I mean, I think with a whole offseason to kind of get himself back in shape, I think this is a pretty good look.
Yeah. I think people might be sleeping on him. Forgot about this guy a little bit. So maybe that's a spot.
I hope the Grizzlies kind of come back to form a little bit too, because honestly, like when they were at their peak a couple seasons ago, they were a fun team to watch. So
yeah, now they're adding Zach Edey to the mix too. So
yeah, so what do we think about Edey tonight? Obviously he's starting and should get 25-30 minutes tonight. Had a pretty decent preseason. You think he's obviously we have no data to look at for him, but you think he's good for 8.5 rebounds tonight?
I think so. I think going up against Utah, right? Should be a good rebounding spot. I think, right? They got Walker Kessler.
It's just there's just like a lack of data around Edey. So I think what I did for Edey is I took him for 6 rebounds, which he did in every game in the preseason except for one. Put him with Walker Kessler, who had 6 rebounds as well in every game in the preseason. So that was the base of my builder, and then we have 2 more legs in the Discord. You guys should head in there for those 2 legs. I will give you a hint though; they're both rebounding legs as well. But I like those 2 guys for 6, and then throw some additional props in there to get them to a plus 100.
All right. I had one other just real quick. I like you could do Ja 20 points and Markkanen 20 points for minus 118 together. I thought that was those are the 2 guys where the scoring is going to come from these 2 teams. So 20 for both of them seems very achievable.
Yeah, seems right. I could see Ja putting up like 40 points tonight too. Yeah. I could just see one of those explosive games as well. He also only played what did he play?
5 games, I think.
No, like 8 games or something last year. So, but of those 8 games, 25 plus points in half of them. So
yeah.
All right, cool. It'll be fun to see that team come together. Tim, you got anything in that one?
No, I got a question for you though. Unrelated. Sorry, Trace Jackson Davis. You guys are the NBA experts. What kind of minutes is he going to see tonight? Because there might be a ton of value if he gets as many minutes as he's been seeing.
Yeah, I think
RotoWire has him at 24.
Yeah, we haven't projected
Just
for
for-
24. Yeah.
Yeah, he is going to come off the bench, but he's the backup to Draymond, and Draymond's an undersized center, and they're going up against the Blazers, who are a big team now, right? The Blazers have Ayton, they have Donovan, whatever his name is from UConn, Klingon or something, and then they also have I think they have Robert Williams as well. So I could definitely see him getting some bigger minutes than even what they're projecting. I could see him being in the high 20s. So I do think he's a good look if you're trying to base something off of his minutes.
Yeah, so in that game, if he plays even, I mean, he's covered on turnovers. He's covered 16 out of the last 20, 10 out of the last 10 with at least one. And some of those games he had 8 minutes. You know what I mean? He's under 20 in quite a few of those. And then Scoot, who has been his minutes increasing, he's had 9 turnovers last time he faced him, and he's covered. So I'm looking at maybe like a little same game with Scoot Henderson and Jackson Davis at 1 each
Yeah.
plus money.
I mean,
Sorry, 1 and 2.
The Warriors move the ball quickly, right? And that speeds up teams. So which is very bad for a guy like Scoot Henderson, who's, still trying to kind of get his feet grounded. So I could definitely see him putting up 3 turnovers in this game. You could see he started the season off last year with 4 and, like you said, 9 turnovers the last time he played the Warriors. So.
Yeah, exactly. One other guy that's really good for turnovers is our guy Jalen Duren too. Offensive fouls, obviously it counts as a turnover, like a charge. He's pretty notorious for those. His tonight is 1.5, and he's covered in 10 straight, at least 2. So I know these are boring, but I think there's a lot of spots that could go pretty quickly, and I like to not sweat.
Very nice, good value.
Yeah, so that's what I'm looking at.
All right, so let's continue with that game. We'll go back to the Suns in a second. We got the Warriors, Blazers. Blazers are getting 5.5 at home. Totals 222.5 in this game. Tom, what do you like in this one?
I got a couple from this game that I like. I like Podziemski rebounds. I know we had his points in the props.cash article, but I liked his rebounds at 5.5. Got him up there.
Yeah.
His minutes are going to be up. He's cleared this in 22 of 27 games when he played 29 plus minutes. And if you look at the preseason, he had game 1, he played 19 minutes, had 5 rebounds. Remember, his line's 5.5. 23 minutes, 4 rebounds. 30 minutes, 5 rebounds. 20 minutes, 4 rebounds. 21 minutes, 4 rebounds. So he didn't clear it in any preseason game, but he only got to 30 minutes once and basically he averaged 20 minutes in the other 4 games. So I think once those minutes get up closer to 30, 6 rebounds should be no problem for him. He's also as a combo guard, he's like a 98th percentile rebounder at his position. So awesome rebounding skills from this guy.
Yeah, he really is. For undersized player, he's really good at positioning himself, grabbing the boards. Pretty athletic. Yeah, I think I like his rebounds. I did like his points as you suggested. At 8.5. I almost am thinking to put those two together. Maybe do alt down the points a little bit to 8, and then take his rebounds at like 4 or 5. I mean, look at the hit rates on 5. And like you said, he is the main beneficiary of Clay being in Dallas now. He slides into starting lineup, and Clay was taking 15 plus shots a game. So that's a lot of offense to be sucked up. And I don't think Curry can absorb much more than he already shoots. So it's going to get distributed. And Draymond doesn't shoot. So it's probably going to get distributed amongst the other 3 players out there, with Podziemski being the main one. So yeah, I like some combination of his points and rebounds, PR, whatever. But yeah, he should be good. I could see this being like the last game that we get like low lines on Podziemski. I could see a big adjustment on him after tonight.
Yeah. We had a question in on YouTube asking about Kuminga for one made three tonight. Little pricey at minus 186, but I would imagine the hit rates are probably pretty good.
They're okay. I mean, what do you do against Portland? Is there? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That doesn't excite me. 48% hit rate. Because he was, he definitely will get more minutes this year, but his minutes were kind of already up, like in the back half. If you look at the last 20 games, right, he was playing 28 and a half minutes already, right? So
yeah,
he's not going to see a huge bump in playing time, I don't think so. And across that span, he only hitting 40% of the game. So for minus 184, I'd lay off. I could definitely see him doing that. They still have Moses Moody on the team.
They do, yeah.
That's the guy. We love playing Moses Moody for 1-3. So
yes,
you want to play somebody on the Warriors for a sneaky 1-3 play, go with Moses Moody. He's always good for it. Trace Jackson Davis. While we're talking about him, I actually Tim wants him to kick the ball out of bounds, and I want him to do everything else. So just one time. He'll do it once, right? He's also I think a big beneficiary of kind of the thinner team that they have. He played pretty good minutes towards the back half of the season, but I think he's good for, what did we say, 24 plus was the projection?
I believe so, yeah.
Right, even if we look at him at 23 across the whole season last year, right? Pretty consistent, got to 6+ points in every game. And he's also a really good rebounder, right? Let's apply that same filter, 23 plus minutes this time. So he had 4+ rebounds in every game when he played 23 plus minutes, and he had 6+ points in every game. So I'm kind of waiting for FanDuel to come out with those. But I can tell you that on DraftKings right now, you could do 6 points and 5 rebounds. And that was plus money when I looked at it earlier today. So I think he's good for that. I think he'll get the 5 rebounds. I think he'll get probably closer to 8 points, but I like taking him down a little bit, maybe to like 6. All right.
He's their center, right?
He's their backup center, but again, like he's, Draymond's not really a true center, so they're gonna have to put him in. And it seems like
he's listed as a power forward technically, but
yeah, he's not a like.
I think that counts.
He's probably like 6'9" or something. He's not huge. But that's never been the style of play for the Warriors anyway, right? They want like a small team. They want to run.
I mean, when Draymond's out there, he's kind of the point guard, right? So that would make Jackson Davis really he's the guy playing center, no?
Yeah, he should be.
Yeah.
So anyway, you said you had another play in this one, Tom?
I got 2, both on the Portland side. Another guy we like over here, Denny Avdia, got traded over the summer to Portland for another one of our guys, Malcolm Brogdon. I like his rebounds here. He played 2 preseason games. He played 20 and 21 minutes in those 2 preseason games, and he had 5 and 6 rebounds in 20 minutes. So this guy, he'll be playing probably closer to 30 minutes tonight. So I like him at 6.5 rebounds there. It's moving up 7.5 most places now. So
yeah, I always like at this point of the season, I like to kind of look at the players' contracts too, and just see like if he was on an expiring contract, then like there's risk that like the Blazers who are kind of rebuilding or just like play him a little bit and then ship him off somewhere. But he's on the first year of a 4-year deal, so I guess the Blazers
he's part of the future.
It looks like he signed a contract with the with the Wizards, and then
got traded.
I guess they changed direction. So yeah, this guy should get big minutes. I guess they're trying to build around him. He's a great player, so I like that.
Yeah.
All right, and who's the other one?
And then Ayton. If you look, I mean, Ayton he really changed the second half. Look at Dave shaking his head.
Go ahead.
I know this is not like me to play DeAndre Ayton, but I mean, if you look at his last 20 to 30 games last season, the guy, I like his points. You click over on his points. I mean, he really right around the All-Star break. He really changed, the way he was playing. When he played 27 plus minutes last season, put him up to 27 minutes. He's cleared his line in 22 straight games when he's played 27 plus minutes. I think that's all post All-Star break. He's projected for 30 tonight. So I think 16 points for 8. Yeah, look at that.
And again,
I sold you.
No, it's him and Ben Simmons. They're like so easy. Like it's just a gust of wind, and I'm like betting them. But it's like, but then they just like crush your soul because the data tells you to play them, and then the reality strikes. But
that's pretty compelling. Right hand side of that chart there, though.
This is like I might print this out and hang this up on my wall. This is a very beautiful chart. Yeah. Especially if we just get rid of all that
Look
junk.
at that.
There we go.
Look at that.
All green. Yeah, I like it. And to go back to the beginning of this conversation, right? The Warriors are small, right?
Yeah.
And like who's gonna guard him, right? Like
they don't have much.
So they don't have a whole lot to put up against him. I think he'll have a big game. I really like that play. 15.5. Let's lock it in.
Let's go.
All right. Let's wrap it up. Suns, Clippers, the Mason Plumlee revenge game. Clippers are getting 5.5 points at home. Surprise, surprise. Kawhi is not playing. Totals 224. Tom, what do you like in this one?
All right, the Suns have a point guard this year. Your boy Tyus Jones.
Love Tyus.
Yeah, so I'm going. It's the first time the Suns with this Beal, Durant, Booker, three-headed monster have an actual legitimate point guard to play with. So I like his over 6.5 assists, minus 106. When he's played 28 plus minutes, he's cleared this in 18 of his last 20 games. So I think that straight line of 6.5 is great for Jones. Yeah, look at that. I love it.
Doesn't Tyus Jones have like the best assist to turnover ratio in the league for like the last 5 years?
He does. I think, and his brother is also right up there too.
Yeah, this is
Jones boys.
This honestly was the exact move that Phoenix needed to make, right? Like this is what they were missing last year. So that's a great move. I like.
And
this.
Mason Plumlee.
Well, yeah, Mason Plumlee, of course.
Of course.
Who doesn't need him?
The greatest basketball player of all time.
Yeah, but I think this is a great spot for him. I think you'll see that his assist line start to creep up here. I think he's going to have people are going to be knowing who Tyus Jones is after this season with Book and KD and maybe Bradley Beal if he can stay healthy.
Yeah, and get a turnover. All right, you got anybody else in this one?
Yeah, I like if 6.5 seemed a little heavy for Jones, you could put him to 6 assists and put KD at 20 points, and that's plus 101. Thought that was nice, a nice look for this game against a really bad Clippers team. Jones 6, KD 20 for even money seems pretty doable.
Look at that. He's got a very similar chart to Ayton there.
Look at that.
He really for some reason Washington last year was just not playing him in the beginning of the season.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were probably trying to lose. So like you said, he should get good minutes on this team, and 6 seems great. 6.5 is probably good too. So I like that. Good stuff. All right. We had a play out on Terrence Mann as well on the Clippers side, 14.5 PRA. Full details on that in the Props.Cash blog entry. So go take a read of that. But really great hit rates when he plays the right minutes, and also when he plays without Kawhi, he's excellent. So go take a read of that one. We'll save that one for another day. Tim, anything else for this game? If you could play Mason Plumlee, what would you be playing tonight?
Yeah, definitely a double-double for Mason. But I'm looking at Kevin Porter Jr. coming over his minutes, obviously. I'm curious to see what he does on this team. His minutes were in the 30s, and I think he's going to be significantly less. So I'm not going to bet him in this one, but I want to see how he's used, what kind of minutes he sees, because that's a very interesting player, an interesting spot.
You guys
are nice too.
You guys really like playing the guys who got in trouble. So yeah, he didn't play last year, so no stats there, but certainly in the absence of Paul George and Kawhi, seems like he could get some good volume. So this could be a good buy low spot for him. You're looking at his points, you said?
No, I'm just curious about his minutes and his involvement. I'm gonna watch
Okay.
when I pay attention to this game and I watch Mason Plumlee ball out. They have him projected for 12 minutes, which we can't even pull his charts up, which is just such
Yeah.
a disservice. But when he gets 12 minutes, he's a 4 rebounds, 4 points kind of situation, 6 rebounds, 6 points at plus money. I think he's
Awesome.
getting disrespected, but I'm hoping that he gets some minutes and gets in there.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at. I did finally find the combo for the steals though of what I'm gonna run, so I feel pretty good about that.
All right. Anything else, Tom?
Nope, that's it. That's it. All right. Good first day of NBA action. Looking forward to these 10 games tonight, and to get back in our groove. Let's start collecting that data and get some nice picks out over the next
Real
couple
quick
weeks.
before
So,
we go,
hit us up, Tim.
don't
What's
cut
up?
it off yet. I got 2 Champions League smacks. It's about to start in a minute. So if you're in the Discord, get over there real quick. We got some soccer today. There's one NHL game tonight, and I'm going to put some stuff out on it. But it is after the Frozen Frenzy last night. Philly is playing the Capitals, and Dylan Strom has hit a point in every single game, and Philly is dog shit on the defense. So look at Dylan Strom and Ovi. Ovi's bearing down on that goals record, all-time record, and I think he's going to get a goal tonight, but take him as a point. And if you take him and Strom, 1 point each, you get plus money. I think it's 110. I'll drop it in there. So don't abandon hockey, but you can also combo that with some of these plays if you're looking for example, Jalen Duren, 10 rebounds, over 1.5 in the late MLS game, and Dylan Strom point, you're at plus 165. I may or may not have smacked that during this. So you get all 3 sports, everyone's happy, and we make money.
That's a goal.
Just got to get some hockey and soccer in before we're done. An hour of basketball, 30 seconds of hockey and soccer.
Beautiful. That's a
So,
good
looking
ratio. I
painful.
like that ratio. Thank you.
I hate it. No, it's good to be back though. I'm excited.
Yeah. Good to be with you guys. Enjoy the games. Nice work, and let's all make some money tonight. All right.
Let's do it.
Hell yeah. Nice. Everything work out?
I think so.
Sick. Good to see you guys again, man. It's been forever.
Yeah, you too, man.
Yeah,
Got
life was.
We're announcing Big Tone coming into the
Oh, that guy?
yeah, he's gonna join us
What does
today.
that look like?
I don't know. We'll find out. But
Oh, cool. I didn't know if
but-
there was